is that I felt no connection with Black Americans, and that surprised me. Now I know at the time I didn't. You know, I felt no connections with Black Americans because you know what? Black Americans were woke. You know, Black Americans had looked at their oppressor in the face. They had tunnel vision, just like Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela looked at his oppressor in his face, and you know what? He had tunnel vision. They knew what was bringing them down. In Africa, we don't have tunnel vision. We don't know what is oppressing us. Because you know what? Because slavery just changed. It didn't go away, it just changed. So most people in Africa, we feel oppressed. We don't know what is oppressing us, you see. Those children in the Congo that are mining all of the coltan with their bare hands, they don't know that at the top of the chain is a white man. The children that are picking the cocoa, right? They don't actually know that the person at the top is a white man. I found out the farm next to my father's farm now belongs to Unilever. That's right. People in Africa cannot afford to buy land anymore. Do you know why? Because slavery never ended. It still carries on. You know, they dump all their toxic waste all over Africa. All your babies' nappies are all over Africa. People cannot farm their land anymore. Do you know? And you know what? Like, here's a fact. 3/4 of the people in Africa are under the age of 30. 3/4 of the people in Africa are under the age of 30. Majority of people in Africa have never heard of slave trade. Majority of people in Africa have never heard of colonialism. Majority of people in Africa only ever see white people when they're coming to save us. So majority of people in Africa fundamentally believe this. They fundamentally believe that white people are nice. They fundamentally believe that white people will do anything to save them. They fundamentally believe that if they walk across the Sahara Desert, cross perilous seas, the nice people in Europe will be welcoming them with big open hands. I say, if you don't want people from Africa coming to your continent, let them know the real you. That's right. Show them, because information in Africa, history is completely controlled in Africa. We don't learn history in Africa. Do you know what? Show them the brutality of the empire. Show them the brutality of the slave trade. Just show them. And you know what? If you don't want people from Africa coming to Europe, leave Africa alone.
I think the problem comes with hate. I think that all peoples are allowed to be themselves.
Yeah.
I think white people of all denominations, whether you be Irish or Russian or whatever, are allowed to have that. The problem comes when you hate people, when you're in that space.
Do you see a lot of hatred from the sort of English community towards other communities?
The English don't like the French much.
Oh, well, okay, well that's different. That's,
the English don't like the French much. I know that much.
Yeah. But I mean, like, do you see like English people like on TV or in politics or anything saying I hate black people? Or
no,
you know?
I don't see that. But like I was saying, the thing about this is that as somebody who's grown up black, right? He's grown up black. There is a level of paranoia that exists within a lot of black people. And the reason why the paranoia exists is because of the confusion, like I said, like the bipolar schizophrenic nature of saying one thing, doing another thing, saying another thing. So, oh, we'll abolish slavery, but we'll get your continent.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be cool with you, but we'll take all your resources. So it's like, okay, listen, I don't want to be paranoid, but that is not consistent, okay? It's not consistent in what you're saying. And so, no, I don't see white people saying, oh, I hate all black people. But then you have to look at the governmental structure and say, okay, well, what are these governmental structures doing in these black countries to these black people with the black resources? Because the world lives off Africa. If we're honest with ourselves, like even we've got our tablets and laptops here now, it's got cobalt and coltan in it. That's 85% of the cobalt and coltan is from the Congo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so it's like the resources of Africa fund the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
I know. I'm not saying you're wrong.
So I'm just saying, if the resources of Africa fund the world, are those resources always got the right way?